Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. We're in the midst of our 24-hour salute to the George Eastman House, one of the many organizations that devotes a great deal of energy and time and money to restoring and preserving great cinema treasures. Over the years, the George Eastman House has preserved countless films, and since early this morning, we've so far shown 10 of those films. Back with me to discuss our next movie is one of the key players in film restoration and preservation at the George Eastman House, Jared Case, who serves as the head of collection information and access for that organization. Welcome back, Jared.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
I'm having a great time.
Good. Now, our next film is another TCM premiere. It's a 1920 silent version of Huckleberry Finn, which was restored by the George Eastman House in 2010. Now, you do specialize, you said, in silent films. So this is certainly a silent film.
We've got a lot of silent films.
Yes. Now, how did you get access to this film?
This one came to us from the Danish Film Archive in 1962. It was a Danish release, so it had Danish intertitles. So that was one of the challenges that we faced in restoring the film.
So you got this from the Danish Film Archives and you restored it. How long did that take?
It took quite a while, actually, about 3 years. The first step was to translate the Danish intertitles. So one of our former students of the Selznick School, Ulrich Rudel from Germany, did a basic translation from the Danish into English. Unfortunately, that wasn't very Mark Twain. So what we needed to do was go back to the original novel and pick dialogue or sequences from that novel to make it fit with the film.
Right.
Obviously, the film doesn't follow exactly the same as the book.
Right.
But it wasn't just the translation and getting the dialogue right. We wanted to make sure that the intertitles looked correct for 1920. So our preservation officer, Anthony Labate, took the style and the framing of the 1920 Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and used that as a reference point to make 1920 looking titles in English.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, human perception is all-encompassing.
Yes.
Silent films were never really silent, and they were very rarely in black and white.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure to get all of the experience in there, the restoring of the tinting that was in the image, as well as the proper look of the film from 1920.
Well, let's see the film. Here it is, directed by the famous William Desmond Taylor and starring Louis Sargent in the title role. Movie we're bringing to you for the very first time on TCM, a 1920 screen version, recently restored, of Huckleberry Finn.